All right, here we have the famous Digital Bolex. There you go. It's a micro 4/3 mount, and I have a PL mount to micro 4/3, but this is staying with me. I just have it so I can put my lenses in there. So according to my map, the last time I turned this on was in 3/4/24, so that's about 2 months ago. And that was at 56%. And the date is May 21st, Tuesday. So let's see if I get that white screen, which is not a big issue. If you don't mind having to update the firmware. And when you update the firmware, it doesn't erase any of the media that is right there. So let me just put it back in here so we can see. And let's turn this baby on. Just keep it pressed for a little bit. And this will tell us if it's okay or not. It usually takes a little bit, no less than a minute to just fire up. We'll see what this has to say. Yep, D16. So like I said, we're down to, I can't see from here. Well, it's 71% battery, and it should work perfectly fine. Like I said, I've only run into the issues when I forget about charging the battery, and I leave it like for 6-7 months, and then it drains all the way down to like, less than 10% when the white screen just appears. But like I said, the white screen is, doesn't mean that the camera's not working. It's just, if anything, if you want to see it that way, especially if you're in production or you don't pre-prep your camera, then it could be a hassle being on production and having the white screen and then deciding that you have to, find a computer to do the update and all that. But like I said, the footage never disappears. It's not a destructive process. It's not like you're initializing the drive. You're just putting the firmware. I've talked to Joe about the issue, and if you go to Facebook on the D16 Digital Bolex user group, you will see that I have had online conversations with him about it, and he doesn't know what it could be. He doesn't seem to think that it's something major, but I just like to be transparent about it so that you don't get this and say, why do I have a white screen? But again, non-destructive. So I'm just gonna put here a lens. Let's see. Again, these lenses are completely mine. I'm not selling these lenses. I'm just gonna put a 16mm lens of Zeiss. Let me just turn this off. Okay. These lens in here. Is it there? I'm doing it sideways so I can't see what I'm doing. Let me see. Oh, I guess I need to follow this. There we go. I couldn't see what I was doing. Alrighty, let's fire this baby again. I like to keep it pressed for a little bit, and then when I see the white screen, the regular white screen, it usually takes less than a minute to just fire up. No different than when I have my red, at the end of the day as a computer, so it just takes its time to just fire up. And as you can see, we have some picture here. You can see the glare, but there it is. perfectly fine. Like I've said before, I've been meticulous with this camera. This camera has only been mine. The only issue here is, if you see right here, it has like a little indentation. Not a hole, but it's an indentation from, and it doesn't go in. I had a cage that I put on it, and I guess I wasn't careful enough, and it got over screwed, and when it hit the chassis, it just made a indentation in there. But other than that, it's a perfect little camera. If you read in the descriptions, you will see all the stuff that I've done to it. I have been meticulous with it, like I said. Only Joe has touched this camera when it comes to repairs, and a lot has been done, a lot has been replaced. I've always kept it fine-tuned, ready to go, and unfortunately I have not used it as much as I wanted to, but for the little that I've used, it's been a great little camera. It will give you images like no other camera, in my humble opinion, will give you. And I've worked with many top cameras out there. Of course, the Red, the Aries, the Sonys. This is quite unique camera. It gives you an incredible look that it's very hard to mimic with plugins or any other coloring tricks that somebody might have up their sleeve. Let me show you the menu. The menu is very simple. You know, you don't have much. Let me see if I can. There we go. So you got image, sound, data, crank, display, playback, and settings. Very easy to use. You know, just use these little arrows up and down. Playback. I think I have some stuff in here. Probably some old stuff. Oh yeah, I got plenty of stuff. Let me see what we have here. Yeah, stuff. Just me playing around the house. Just taking some video. Let me see if I have anything else that is of importance. Let me go back to the menu. Let's see here, what is this? Well, not the greatest screen in the world, but when connected to an HDMI monitor, it's perfect. You can monitor there. Now, if you're in a pinch and you want to do something really, you know, cheap and dirty, and you're on the road and maybe you have a lens that is not as bulky as this one, maybe one of the old 1960 16mm lenses, then it all becomes very small and compact, and it's a very nice camera to have. Okay, that's about it. So let me go back, and then I'll show you how easy it is to format this. We just go to, let me see if I can remember. I think it's data. Yeah, we're gonna format this. Gonna hit enter. Yes. And it starts formatting. It's pretty fast. Depending on the hard drive that you have. I know this is a 2 terabyte hard drive, so it takes a little bit more than the one it came from in the beginning. Again, this was also changed to a 2 terabyte. I think originally was 500. And as you saw there, it's already formatted and it's ready to go. Actually, the screen looks better on this video than it actually looks in real life. It doesn't look bad. I mean, I'm also not outside. When it's outside, it's kind of hard to see if the sun is hitting it directly. But all in all, it's a great little camera. You have all your buttons in there, audio, power, HDMI. I just noticed it has this little thing. Maybe you want to do vertical videos, put your microphone there, or your screen. Actually, that would be kind of cool. And you know, your crank that I think you can program. I've never used it that much, but I think you can program the crank to be one of the user pre-decisions of, you know, what you want to do, if you want to focus, or, you know, let me see if I have anything here. One of these, maybe I have nothing on it. Volume, and that's it. And then you turn around the cage, there you go. It comes with the little gun that I have, and that's about it. Plain and simple, just a box with the body, no lens, no attachments. Works. And like I said, I'll repeat one last time, sometimes if you leave the camera too long without any power and you let the internal battery run down, then you will have to deal with the having to put the firmware, because the camera will power and for some reason it just doesn't go into the software. Another thing that you have to be very careful is with this little baby here, right there. When you connect it to your computer, treat it as a drive. This is exactly like a drive. You don't need to turn it on, you just hook it up to your computer, and then when you're done transferring, make sure to eject the drive that shows on your desktop. Do not just pull the plug, because then what happens is the handshake between the camera and the computer completely gets corrupted, and I will tell you, it is a pain in the behind to get this to talk to the computer again if you do that. I think that's the number one issue that people that are new to this camera sometimes just pull it out thinking it's just a camera connection, and it's just pretty much a drive connected to the computer. So when you pull out the cable without ejecting it properly, that handshake will be broken between your computer, and then you have to go through a whole list of process to just get it back if you're lucky. I did that once when I first got the camera eons of years ago, and I learned the hard way, and I promised myself I would never do it again, because it was a royal pain to get this camera to sync again with any of my Macintoshes. So there you go. Let's turn it off. Boom, there you go.